What's up, everybody? Um, so this video is in response to Prince E's analysis of Jim Carrey's woke moment. One of my friends on Facebook hit me up and asked me what I thought about the video that Prince E did, talking about Jim Carrey's interview. So if you haven't seen it, Jim Carrey was at, I think it was New York Fashion Week, and he was stopped by the interviewer, and she was asking him his questions or whatever about, the night. And Jim Carrey was saying stuff like, there is no me, there is no you, you're just a fragrance in the air. And, talking about how he didn't get dressed and that everything was just happening. And so some people said that Jim Carrey had basically lost his shit. Some people said that Jim Carrey was woke. There's mixed reactions to it. One of the reactions that I seen was from Prince E. If you don't know who Prince E is, he does a lot of cool videos, motivational type stuff, conscious stuff. He seems like a pretty cool dude. I am a fan of his. I'll try to put a link to the video that I'm talking about in the description. So before I talk about what Prince E said or whatever, my initial thoughts about the Jim Carrey interview was that he was trolling, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, because I don't feel like he is trolling in the sense of, just trying to cause controversy or whatever. But I had heard that Jim Carrey was supposed to star in a movie about Terence McKenna. So if you don't know who that is, Terence McKenna was an ethnobotanist, I think is what he was. Basically, he talked about psychedelic drugs and the psychedelic experience, and him and his brother went to the Amazon and basically got totally smashed on magic mushrooms, and they had a pretty amazing experience where his brother Dennis said that he basically was unraveled and spread across the entire universe to the point where he didn't have to eat or shit or smoke a cigarette. He said that if he wanted to do this stuff, he would just do it through somebody else's body, because he was one with everything. So if he needed to smoke a cigarette or whatever, somebody else would be smoking the cigarette, and he would be experiencing that via them. They were the conduit. So definitely look into Terence McKenna. He a lot of the things that he talked about are pretty controversial, I guess you would say. But nevertheless, he's got a ton of useful information, especially if you're interested in, trying psychedelic drugs, or you want to know, philosophical things. Terence McKenna passed away recently. But his brother Dennis is still living, and his brother does um, experimentation and research with psilocybin mushrooms, psilocybe cubensis mushrooms. Um, so if you have any interest in that, definitely check those guys out. Um, so um, when I seen the interview, my first thought was, oh, this is in preparation, like this is advertising for this movie coming up. Excuse me. Um, he's playing a role right now, uh, like a method actor. I heard that Samuel L. Jackson, in order to prepare for a role, he basically takes on that persona of the role he's playing completely. So that was my initial thoughts on that interview, the red carpet interview. Um, as far as what he was saying, Jim Carrey has had a few television moments where he talks about like his belief in visualization and like law of attraction, like that type of stuff. And so, I guess this most recent, you know, TV appearance can kind of coincide with that. But for me personally, anybody that's involved with Hollywood, I'm kind of skeptical about what they have to say when it comes to spirituality or philosophy or religion, just for the simple fact that um, a lot of what goes on in Hollywood, I believe, is um, deceptive. Like, Hollywood is ran by the same circle of people that are running everything else, from the media to the fucking government, all these people are all these people are in cahoots, are in bed with each other, are they're all working together at some level. So, um, some of the stuff that Jim Carrey was saying, like I think there's some truth in it, but as far as my beliefs and how things work and what the nature of reality is, I agree with some of what he's saying, but I also kind of felt like, there's enough truth in it to make you want to pay attention and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this, I can get where he's coming from, but I don't think, at some level, I feel like it's deceptive. Like, they're, they're, they're telling just enough truth to get your attention, but not the total and complete truth. Um, so that's what I thought about the Jim Carrey interview when I first seen it. All right, and so now as far as what Prince E was saying about all of this, I pretty much agree with everything that Prince E said. Um, I I don't believe that what we define as ourselves, as far as in the egoic sense, is actually what we are. I've had experiences with psychedelic mushrooms. I've been out of my body before. I've woken up in dreams and knew I was dreaming. I've been knocked unconscious and like seen my body laying on the ground. So I do know that the part of me that is experiencing life, the the actual the real me, the living me is not like it's not my body. It's not even confined to my body. Um, so I'm in agreement with both Jim Carrey and Prince E in that sense. The one caveat that I will draw where I think both of these guys are misleading people, or that I don't believe is correct, is that the ego is unnecessary. Um, Everything in nature has a sense of self. Everything in nature knows that it exists and is separate from everything else to some degree. Um, and to say that, you are separate from your ego, I don't think that's correct. Um, I believe that, like, um, the ego acts as like a sort of like a lens almost. The ego is the thing that lets you know that there are other things um, in existence. That the ego is what draws the boundaries. Um, I do believe that the boundaries exist, however thick or thin they may be. I don't really know. Um, I don't want to, I don't want to come off that I have a whole extensive knowledge on this. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still experiencing. But I don't think that the Creator or God would equip us, or does equip us, or anything with, for that matter. Like, you're not born with anything that you don't need. Um, you're not born with anything that is unnecessary. Um, we pick up a lot of shit on the way. That's for damn certain. You know, as soon as you bust out the womb, you're given a gender or a sex. You're given a name. You're even given a number. A bunch of useless shit. But I don't think that the the ego is one of those useless things. Um, I don't think that Prince E said that we are, or he inferred. He didn't. I don't know if he necessarily directly said it. He inferred that we are the space, the empty space between. Um, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know really how to interpret that. Um, I I think that we hold a special place that's in between um, the physical realms and the ethereal realms, I guess you would call it. We experience life from a perspective that's directly almost connects, the spiritual side of things, the pure conscious aspect of things with the the physical material aspect of things. I don't think that these things are um opposites or um, these things are not in conflict with each other. They are, everything I believe is complementary. Um, the the perfect example of this is the yin yang symbol. So, I'm sure everybody's seen the yin yang. In the Western world, we separate it and we call it the yin and the yang. Um, but in the Eastern society where this symbol comes from, it's one symbol. The halves are joined together and actually create the opposite. Like, so for instance, light doesn't exist without darkness. If you take either one of those away, you would be in a state of darkness, pretty much, because there's nothing to contrast it with. Um, you wouldn't know what up was if there was no down, or to think of this in terms of your ego, if you were all there was, then there wouldn't be anything else. Like, everything would be you. You wouldn't know what you were because there wouldn't be anything for you to contrast against. Um, so everything is because of everything else, and I think that this is where the ego comes into play. The ego is like the line that goes down the middle of the yin yang that separates the white side from the black side. Um, um, so yeah, I guess that's what I think about it. Um, I I don't know how sincere or serious Jim Carrey was in the interview. You know, maybe he took some shrooms, like a heavy dose, and experienced a complete disconnection from his ego, which is not uncommon for those who have ever dabbled in you know with that substance. Um, Maybe he's just you know not wanting to break character for the sake of his art. Um, you never really know. The one thing I can say is, like, if you're interested, check it out. Like I said, I've done shrooms. My experience with them was, I wouldn't say, not negative. I had a bad trip, yes, and it was very frightening, very frightening. But after that experience, I feel as if the person I've become because of it is, I feel like I have a better understanding of other aspects of life. So, if it's something you're interested in, I think you should do your research, look into it. If 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 it's something that's meant to be, the opportunity will definitely present itself, and then whatever choice you make at that time it'll be the right choice. So, um, that's about that's about all I got on that. Definitely check out Prince E's page. I'll put a link to the video with him talking about Jim Carrey. Um, uh, that's about it. Thank you to everybody that watches this stuff. I think I'm gonna do a video about dream interpretation. I've been having a lot of conversations with people about their dreams and just how it relates to shit going on in their life. So watch out for that. If it's any other suggestions or comments or anything like that, leave them. I'll do my best to get back to you. And other than that, have a great week. Stay positive. Keep striving. And shit, we gonna make it one way or the other. I love y'all. Bye.